brought to you by Convergent and WebEx. Just want to let everybody know that we are recording this. We'll have this available as well if anybody wants to see it after. But let me just quick introduce myself. For those of you that may not know me, John Frank Stubitz, Director of Sales and Business Development at Convergent, helping host this today. Allow me to welcome you, some of our current customers and others who are maybe just getting to know us and explore the possibilities of Cisco WebEx calling. Also with us today from Convergent, Matt Kopp, Senior Vice President of Engineering, and Chris Carrero, our Business Development Manager, who worked diligently to pull this all together and make sure everyone on the other side of this has a few beverages to enjoy here today. So from Cisco, Seamus McDonough. He's the leader of Sales Acceleration, Cisco WebEx expert. He's going to provide you with some insight into the power of WebEx. And finally, who you see here with us today, the MVPs, bringing it all together, led by Rob Fisher, the team at Bouchain Vineyards in Napa Valley. He's going to be rounding things out. He'll give us some details on the characteristics of the delicious wine that you've received and get to sip on maybe a little bit here during the event. Just a quick background on Bouchain. Virtual tastings have been central to them for their marketing and hospitality strategy over the past year. So the power of WebEx there that you're going to see today, they integrated Cisco WebEx along with some other Cisco technology and able to expand the digital hospitality experience offering. So with WebEx, the guests of their virtual tastings, they get to see a live stream of the vineyards along with a dashboard of temperature, humidity, light data, and they get to see how it's all done. So one of the community's oldest family-owned vineyards, with the struggles of being a local spot today in this economy, they get to come alive to people all over the country in very tangible ways from the comfort of home or as some of us are doing today from the virtual office or maybe the real office. So thanks to them for providing us with the goods today. If you want to secretly or openly pour a glass of the Chardonnay, that's what we're going to start with. We can toast to that, but let's move on. I'll give you a quick agenda here, and we can get to the fun stuff. So just real quick, we did some of the introductions. You're going to get a WebEx hybrid work overview, a quick rundown from Matt Kopp on the services and support provided by Convergent around WebEx, and then very importantly, Q&A. You're going to have a little Q&A button down around the chat at the bottom right-hand corner of your WebEx screen there. Make this interactive if you want. Pop some questions in there. We'll cover those towards the end of this, and then what you guys are probably really all here for after digesting some WebEx is that virtual wine tour from Rob. So, real quick for those of us, just finally from me, who maybe are newer to Convergent or maybe our current customers, you're seeing us in different ways and new ways. Let me give a quick brief explanation of Convergent and why we're bringing this together for you today. So for over 46 years now, Convergent, we've been helping businesses design, deploy, refresh, and implement their strategic technology plan. Businesses, they come to us when they want to focus on executing the mission of their business. And they know they have a trusted advisor that, we can help bring the technology to your users. We can bring the technology to your customers so you can get the business outcomes you're aiming for. The economy, technology, it's constantly evolving. We all know that. We're here. Hybrid work's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be an expectation of employees and customers, really, to be able to deliver at a high level. So for us, the need for a trusted technology advisor to help your business that can help bring a simplicity to the components, that you want to implement in your technology strategy, that's a competitive advantage as we provide. So, our team, our experience, everything you see here, we make it all simple. Every pillar there within those services across all technologies, our Convergent One managed support, that's our competitive advantage for you. So, that's the background on us. What we do, we're giving you back the time you need so you can operate at the speed your customers and your employees expect. So, cheers on the Chardonnay, Seamus. I'm gonna turn it over to you for the WebEx, and then let's keep it going. So thanks again, everyone, and I hope you enjoy.
Thanks, John, and thanks to the entire Convergent team for having me here today. So, as John said, I'm Seamus McDonough. I lead sales acceleration here at WebEx for our small business in the Americas. So, what I'm going to talk about today is really, what we're doing with hybrid work, what we're doing with WebEx calling, and really what it means to you and your businesses. So, WebEx truly is where business happens. Whether you're working from home, working from the office, or really working from anywhere. Whether you're doing that within the same day or even down to the same hour. I just the other day I was, traveling with my wife up to New York, and I was, started off working from the home office. I went into a local office, and then I was working from a car as you're driving back and forth from wherever you need to be. The biggest thing about this is making sure that it's simple to use and easy to use, and making sure that you can stay connected and join meetings and make calls from wherever you want to be. That's the power of WebEx. And at WebEx, we like to do a lot of stats and get information and making sure that our technology really works for our customers. And so one of the things that we found out is that 71% of all respondents say that day-to-day work tools contribute positively to the overall work experience. So making sure that the tools that the employees are using really positively influences their day-to-day activities. And when we also looked at it, we took a look at what are SMB leaders looking at from an investment perspective. What are those priorities over the next 12 months? Well, 59% of them said, mobile work support is important. 51% video conferencing, 27% collaboration tools, 44%, conferencing tools. All of these things are the reason for hybrid work. And when you even break it down even more, you look at what are the criteria, what is that evaluation criteria for that solution, and what makes it important. So the first and foremost, ease of use. I know if you're like me out there, if something's not easy to use, probably not going to use it. So making sure that it's intuitive and user friendly. It also is to increase worker productivity. Applications that increase my worker productivity make my life easier, makes my job easier, and I'm going to absolutely use it. That remote work experience too, continually being able to enhance the support and being able to stay connected to everybody, whether that's a customer, the partner, it's the rest of my team. That remote work needs to be there. Intuitive management. If it's not easy to manage, you're also definitely not going to use it because you're not going to implement it within your organization. But throughout all of it, it needs to be captured holistically from a security perspective and making sure that it's enhanced security through hybrid work with robust security for our SMB customers. And there's multiple different types of hybrid work interactions. And you look at calling, meetings, messaging, webinars and events, webinars like we're on here today, making and placing calls with your customers. But it's how do you scale and take away that complexity? And whether you're talking to an internal audience or an external audience, making sure that interaction is the same. Whether you're using WebEx calling to, do a weekly check-in or daily check-in, or you're making and placing calls to your customers, whether you need to use the WebEx meeting platform just for a simple sales presentation or partner meetings, whether you want to use webinars or event centers, things around with our WebEx events and things that we've added within Socio to have virtual conferences where you have people on site and virtually being able to join, like as you walk into if you want to do breakout sessions, being able to jump into those. This can allow for our customers and our users to stay connected. And it's all done with one single application. That is the WebEx app. Call, message, meet, broadcast, all in one simple application to do that. Whether it's on your mobile client, your computer, your tablet, any certain type of software, it's all going to work. Because we want to innovate and support all those different types of works. Whether you want to use something like Vidcast, which is built in where you can record a short video and be able to send that to somebody in case they're busy in a meeting and you just need to get something quickly across, and you could screen record and share that out. People on my team do that to share things with me if they're working on a project, they're working on an opportunity, and they're having a questioner on it. They can quickly share the screen, send me a recording of that. I can quickly take that and then be able to share back with them and answer. It can also get away from all those meetings you might be having and really simplify it down. Things around collaborational insights. How are you best utilizing the WebEx application yourself? It's not for that manager to micromanage that employee and saying, how many meetings are you having a day? No, it's for that individual to understand how their work-life balance is. Are they scheduling meetings on time? Are they joining on time? Are you multitasking? How can you best utilize the application for yourself? As well as things around Slido, real-time information, getting polls with people virtually, and getting that feedback immediately. Those are the things that we're doing to help innovate. But we also want to make sure that we have the integrated devices for your organization. And whether you start small and grow, we have different devices for any style of organization. Whether you want a full immersive solution like a Web Access Pro, like I'm talking to you on here today, whether you want to add a room bar to a current screen TV that you have in your office, whether you want to optimize for your voice, and I'll get into demos on that here in a second. But also, not only does the WebEx portfolio help you from a collaboration perspective, but it also has to work with our other architectures. That's secure hybrid work. Being able to connect in with your network with Meraki, or things from security, whether you're using Duo or Umbrella, fully surrounding you and making sure that you have that trusted provider as it relates to the full solution. And everything is built to work together. That's what we're providing here at Cisco and what we're doing at WebEx. It has to work together. But how are we reimagining calling? How are we changing the way that you hear, see, and do from a calling perspective? Well, we're doing all that through WebEx calling. But if you're moving from the prem to the cloud, or you've used other different cloud platforms, we want to show you that you're not losing features when you move to WebEx calling from a cloud calling perspective. Whether you're utilizing the mobile client, like I use on my mobile phone or on my computer every single day, you're not going to lose the features that you're used to having on a physical device. Whether you want to do call forwarding, single number reach, voicemail to email, I look at these as Alexander Graham Bell feature sets. I know that's super cheesy, but it really paints a picture of the solutions and the features we're providing to our customers are what you need from a day-to-day perspective to stay connected and make and place calls. But we also want to give you that flexibility to connect no matter how you want to connect from a PSTN perspective. Whether you want to use Cisco for your PSTN provider, and we support up to 19 countries and more and more coming, where Cisco can provide you with that, be your service provider, provide you with the telephone numbers. Whether you want to use one of our cloud connected PSTN partners, we have many of those. Or if you want to use a local gateway, maybe you're currently within a contract and you want to move to the cloud. We can give you that flexibility to connect how you want to connect and making sure you don't lose features. Because no matter how you're connecting or where you're connecting, it's also making sure that you can be heard, even in the noisiest environments, with things around background noise removal and optimizing for your voice. And whether you're working from home and you got things going on and dogs barking, people mowing the lawn, you can hear all this. This gets annoying. Well, if you optimize for your voice, that stuff goes away. I don't really know. I just crumpled up here at my desk, but hopefully it wasn't important. But those are the things that we're doing with WebEx Audio Intelligence to really take you to the next level. Because we want to empower your best work, whether that's doing recordings and transcriptions, breakout rooms, custom layouts, and closed captioning. These are the things that can truly help you connect to everybody else and the different feature upgrades that we're doing. I use closed captioning all the time when I'm watching something, things on Netflix. I watch a show called Dairy Girls. I have no idea what they're talking about, but as long as I can have the closed captioning on there, I know exactly what they're saying. We want to make sure that everyone's voice matters no matter what language as well. Things like real-time translation, being able to change the closed captioning into multiple different languages. I cover a team that's throughout the Americas with multiple different languages. I want them to feel comfortable when they speak to me, not having to always speak English, and making sure that we can translate and being able to understand that individual on the other end. Those are true differentiators. But we all know that meetings, the work really gets done, outside of the meetings, outside of those phone calls. With the WebEx application, this allows you to keep work flowing between meetings. It allows you to communicate, share documents, optimize this by, updating and sharing things back and forth and continuing to work, while also making sure it's secure from an end-to-end perspective. This is that mobile client for everything. But we also got to help you make sure that you work together without ever leaving WebEx. As much as I'd love to say, hey, once you have the WebEx application, you don't need any other app in the world. That's not realistic. I have an iPhone with hundreds of applications on it. But the application itself needs to work with those other applications. Whether that's things like Salesforce and being able to live and breathe out of there, make and place WebEx calls out of Salesforce and being able to have that and log that within Salesforce. Doing things within Miro, things within Apple, doing things with, making and placing calls, whether you're using Apple CarPlay or driving a Ford, and all the things that you can do just from one click of the button within the car. Those are things that are differentiating. As well as things around Microsoft and the announcements that we've made where WebEx and Microsoft are better together. being able to, if you have Microsoft Teams within your organization but are looking to add something for calling your meetings, WebEx can embed within there. And you can also join Microsoft Meetings through a Cisco device. This gives our customers the flexibility to choose how you want to set up the device. What you never have to worry about, if I buy this Cisco device, am I only going to be able to use WebEx with it? No, because we understand that you're going to have other things that you need to join. And that's what we give you the flexibility to do. Because sometimes when we look at things and we say, wow, is hybrid work broken? Well, in some cases it is. 88% of workers are frustrated with the in-office experience. 49% of them have been frustrated with trying to get meetings to work when while they're in the office. 49% express challenges when they want to share content in a room. All these different inconsistencies can cause chaos. We want to simplify that stuff down with WebEx. No longer needing the dongles, the cords. How do I join? That one button. How do I make a call? Easily making and placing calls. With all of our different devices, which I touched on earlier, with the immersive calling and collaboration, we give you the experience that works for you, however you want to. And when we look at this as well, we're also changing our price points to really meet those small business budgets. We want to make sure that these are things that you can consume, and they no longer are not just for an enterprise. They're truly for customers of all sizes. But in all of this, if it's not easy to use, not easy to set up, you're probably not going to use it. So with Control Hub, we truly make it simple and easy to use. To being able, one place to manage all your collaboration needs, your devices, your calling, your messaging, your meetings, being able to stand up new users, those integrations I talked about, all within here, that single dashboard that allows you to customize and create reports and gather those analytical things. And even if you're not the admin, or you just want to give someone the ability to come in and run dashboards, run reports, you can do that. There's different ways that you can toggle the ability to come on here and make and see things. Now, this isn't for everybody in the organization to come in here and see this. You probably don't want everybody to do it. Like in my company, I don't see everything that we do internally at our organization, but those individuals that need it have it at their hands. And that comprehensive security covering it all, that is important. It's built in, not bolted on. That end-to-end encryption with the WebEx app, auto lock in meetings, making sure that it's a secure location, verifying the identity, making sure that it's compliant, secure by design and private by default, never sharing your information out there. Those will always be important to Cisco because we know what's important to you. So why should you move to WebEx now? Well, first and foremost, we're going to help you maximize your productivity, accomplish more with a complete collaboration suite. We also want to help you decrease costs to preserve capital for growth. I talked about how we reevaluated what our price points were to truly work for our customers, no matter what size, and especially SMB. When I started at Cisco, 5.5 years ago, I knew that I looked at our price points and I was like, oh my gosh, how's this going to work for SMB? We truly reevaluated that and stated, this is what we need to do to make sure that it works for our customers, because we want to help you future-proof your investment and be able to continue to add upon it and build upon that flexible cloud foundation. So the value of moving to WebEx in my last slide here is really all of those things I talked about. That single continuous application for work, the intelligence and automation built throughout the platform, that seamless internal and external collaboration, whether you're within the organization or outside, being able to communicate to everybody. Our hardware and software integrations are best in class. The WebEx devices are really best when working with WebEx, but they will also work with our competitors as well. And I hate to say it, but they do. Platform integrations, whether that's things like I talked about with Salesforce or ServiceNow, all of those integrations need to exist. And we have a whole DevNet community that can help you with that. And Convergent can help you understand those different integrations as well. Security and compliance built throughout, and that single pane of glass. We truly want to provide you with a highly scalable, highly redundant, highly secure global infrastructure for your organization. And that's what we're doing here at WebEx. And I truly appreciate your time. I told you guys I would go through it quickly. So Matt, over to you, and I'll let you take it from here. But thank you guys for your time.
All right, thank you, Seamus. Can you just build out that slide for me?
Absolutely.
We'll go through here. So just wanted to take a minute here and talk through what Convergent's involvement is here, how we deploy the WebEx solution, and how we support you guys going forward. So as John Frank had mentioned earlier, we're truly, our goal is to be a trusted advisor and an extension of your staff. So when we kick off a project with you, you're getting a dedicated project manager that's going to be doing the internal kickoff calls within our organization to do a handoff from sales over to service delivery. We're going to have a kickoff call with you. So we're going to have and go through a truly defined delivery process of a detail of each one of these phases and that you see up here of the project, and how we're going to handle risk management of getting sign off on the design before moving forward, getting approval to make sure that the dates and everything for every site that you guys have are good for you for porting and for deployment. And there, it really is a co-delivery method that we have that we're working through with you, because at the end of that call, we're going to say, all right, who's accountable for the next steps in the process here? And all of that's going to be documented, shared with you through our different platforms that we use to be able to share those documents and documentation with you. Next, we kind of go into the design there, where we're going to take a look at what's using Cisco's tools to do network readiness assessment. So through Cisco's Control Hub, we can test the different sites, the internet, make sure you have enough bandwidth, make sure that the solution is going to work when we go to deploy it. If you're on a platform that we're supporting for you now, we're going to go collect all your user data, your extensions, your call flow, all those requirements. We're going to work on how are you guys going to authenticate into the system. Are you going to do Office 365, or do you have Google that you're using for authentication in the cloud as well? And we're going to start working with you on gathering all of that information that we need to request and schedule porting of your existing phone numbers on a site-by-site basis. So we're going to work with you on getting the letters of authorization, the customer service records, all of the latest invoices that you need. And then finally, at the end of that, before we go to implement anything, we're going to do a full design review with you, so you know and sign off on what we're about to deploy for you. So there's no questions later, and everybody agrees on that going forward. Once we have that and we start implementing, we're going to do that full system configuration based off of the design that we agreed on. We're going to provide end user training information for you, whether that could be videos online, that could be documentation on how to use the applications. We're going to get all those users set up, get their accounts ready to go, so you can start doing some user acceptance testing and make sure the system is working as designed and as expected. On that day of cutover on a per site basis, we're going to have people on site doing the phone installations. We're going to have people there to provide support to your end users if there's any questions as the numbers are being ported over. And that whole port process is going to be managed from beginning to end by our project management team. Once everything is complete and we hand this over to our support team, that's where, going forward, we want you guys to focus on your business, focus on supporting your clients, not managing a new system. So we will handle taking care of setting up all of your new users, setting up new locations, any call flow configuration changes or adds that are needed in the future. As Cisco releases updates every month, there's gonna be new features, functionality that come out. We're gonna make you aware of those. We're gonna let you know, here's what you have available to you. Some of those things might just show up when the WebEx app updates for you. Others might need to be enabled in the Control Hub, and we'll take care of that for you, and we'll work through that process with you. A couple other things that we do that are a little different than what we've seen out in the industry is we're doing quarterly business reviews with our WebEx customers and saying, all right, how are you using the applications? What would you like to see? And we can determine, is there something else in the solution that maybe you're not fully utilizing and you can get more value out of it. So we're there to work with you going forward. And it's not just at the end of the project, our support ends. We're there for as long as you need us. We do end user training. So if there's regular questions that come up, or there's new features or functionality that Cisco releases as part of the solution, we'll schedule a webinar like this just for your organization, go through those, make it interactive, answer questions, and really make sure you're using the solution and getting the most out of it that you can. And finally, just wanted to touch on technical support. So as a part of our relationship with Cisco, we provide your tier 1 technical support. Any issues that you have, you contact us. For some of the customers that are on the call, we've been supporting your systems for years. We have relationships. You know our engineers, that we know your environment. We can support you and make sure you have everything that you guys need from a technical support perspective. But if there is something that needs to get escalated to Cisco, we handle that on your behalf. So you're not opening cases with Cisco. You're not on the phone. we handle that and take care of it all for you. So that the goal of all of this is really be that trusted advisor. So just going forward, wanted to take a look at the Q&A. There was a few things that came in here, Seamus, that I wanted to talk through with you. The first one is the question that we had. I know the focus is around hybrid work and some of the devices that we went through, but is there a solution for contact center as well?
Yes, yes. So we do have WebEx Contact Center, and basically that is our full-fledged cloud contact center platform that lives within Control Hub, and it also works with the WebEx app itself. It's a fully robust phone system for contact center. It'll dive a little bit deeper into those supervisor agent abilities and things that you can do from a full contact center perspective. There are some things that you can do within call queues now with our what we look at as almost like a contact center like things that exist within WebEx calling itself. That feature we just added. So it's something I would highly recommend people take a look at as well. If you want to see a demo of that, we can absolutely go through those differentiators as well and what they look at.
Okay, appreciate that. Next one was, does WebEx support SMS texting?
Yes, absolutely. So WebEx calling does support SMS texting. We just launched that recently. Currently, it's available on the desktop client itself. It will be coming shortly to the mobile client, so on your cell phone. I think that release is coming here in the next month or so. I need to get the exact date of when that is. But yes, any user that has a full WebEx calling license and a phone number will have the ability to text out from that. And I've tried it out, and it works pretty great. My coworker and I were messing around with it the other day to make sure that how quick it is on getting the text out, and it is instantaneous. So just like a text.
All right, and with there was a couple of questions around the Microsoft and the Teams integration I wanted to touch on. So with if the customer has existing video units that they have and they want to use those on Teams, will they work when with the Microsoft Teams Room experience?
Yes, there's a list of devices that work with them, and yes, so we can get those out to everybody of knowing exact which devices there are. So depending on the device itself, things kind of vary. But yes, if you currently have WebEx devices within your organization, from a video perspective, you can join meetings on there. I know I was just testing that with I had a DX80 here, and I was able to join one through that too. So the answer is yes. So just let us know what those devices are, and we can make sure that you're good to go.
All right, and I think the last one was related to some of the billing. So if we deploy WebEx through Convergent, how does billing and continued support work? So I can touch on that one, Seamus. So from a billing perspective, the invoices would come from Convergent on a monthly basis. Everything would be billed out to you through us, and that would include our continued support in that as well too. So that would all be covered in there.
Matt, I did get one more question privately messaged to me by a user, one of our customers who will be named later. He said you mentioned that that we would provide a WebEx just like this for any of our customers if they want further education. He said, well, would we also provide wine for all the users in the organization as well? I'm sure Rob over there would think everything's negotiable on that, and we can talk about that when we meet for a demo.
Yep, and since you're the head of sales and business development, that would come out of your budget, so we can do that.
We will follow up with you on that one, and that is not a virtual background over there, Rob. So that's love that the real background there, but I figured I would share that. So
I love it. That's great.
Shameless ploy there for you.
Anything else, Matt?
No, that was it. So I think now we're ready to hand it over to Rob.
All right. Thank you so much.